Wenban actually. Side lane could be the way that they try to push through this, but
Doran is playing Sion, is what I'm kind of getting.
it does look that way. I like that BRION are going to go for something a little bit more aggressive here. If they ended up picking up the Cassante, I think this draft just doesn't have the firepower it needs to utilize this Akali Ezreal properly. So they take the Narban and they're like, we'll take the Renekton. Now, if you want to play Sion into that, it's also going to be a little bit tricky. In the early game, we'll have a lot of prio there top side. So it's a pretty cool pick here for Bro that they take away.
Yep, and there was also the Gnar that was banned away by T1 as well. Jhin and Nico together would be a lot of early game power here. I am obviously a little bit personally biased against the Jhin, but he has been finding a fair bit of success, especially with the steadily evolving build, sometimes not having a Ghost Blade in it, which can be very, very nice.
Doran's playing Aurora. Okay.
Right.
I did kind of forget about this, to be honest, because this is one of Namgung's favorites, if not just outright his favorite. He has picked up where Lehen's left off with this pick, and he has been trying to make waves with it. He's had a few good performances on it, even in losses. It's a high-risk pick, but it works well with the Akali, and they already have a lot of setup between the Renekton stun and the Xin Zhao engage. I kind of feel like the biggest part of this composition, the toughest part and the part that has to be executed,
whether they can bring us a game as well. And I think that question really does rest with Hanj and BRION, because if they can make this interesting, my goodness, what a day it would be. Wait.
No, I just did the T1 one.
That's what I was thinking. Where's my bro one?
Well, I don't know how many bro fans are there, so they're just trying to be polite, maybe.
Well, wouldn't you like? Okay, casting.
By the way, you know, I mentioned Doran.
And a dice.
He
just flash on him, casting. Don't be scared.
He doesn't have any more buttons, so I don't think he should do that. But getting a pretty massive lead here at level 1 in a
level
tough matchup.
2 gank, maybe. Yeah, Doran is in a bit of trouble.
This is a cool little level 1 E hit here for casting, because he's like, I can't get to that ranged champion. What if I just press E twice and get on him that way? And then auto him a few times before he actually has any skill points.
Oh, it worked pretty well. And so casting, of course, going to be more deadly when he does reach level 3, where you can stun and then do a bunch of damage back and heal yourself and all that sort of stuff. As Roma looking for a little bit of damage here towards Faker as well. You were mentioning the fact that the Akali matchup into the Azir has been one that a lot of our players have really liked. Currently, Faker doing just fine. It's out farming quite nicely, as there is the stun to come through. Level 2 taking the Ravenous Hunter here, and casting, avoiding a bit of the damage there from Doran, but I think Doran has to go home. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, this is crazy. I kind of thought that, I mean, look, I don't end up playing this matchup too much myself, but I kind of thought he was going to be like, all right, well, I did enough. Guess I'll take Q, sustain off these waves, continue to get my health advantage. Casting was like, no, I go in on this, actually, and push him to teleport. And that was the call. Now he has level 3, so he's got the full kit, and Doran is down a teleport. So a pretty huge advantage picked up here for casting early.
Yeah, and the fact that he's the melee champion, right, that is going to be taking a lot of harass, you've now sort of got a luxury teleport in your lane, which is crazy valuable, and probably will be using it right now, but has an extra wave to spend. Might actually be able to get an item.
He gets boots and refillables, so he can continue to apply a little bit of pressure here, and we'll be able to deal with that poke you mentioned with the refillable. Doran, on the other hand, only getting refillable on his back, so pretty nice advantage. We'll see if casting can push this any further. I think it's going to now become a lot trickier, especially with where this wave is right now, for him to do any more, but he got through the hardest part, and in fact generated a lead during that moment, so great work from him.
Yep, very impressive. Playing very respectfully, as we see. As Roma going to find another electrocute here. Doesn't get the backflip, though. That would have been a lot of damage if he wasn't going to be hit by the turret. I think Faker was close enough to make that one work out, but it looks like Faker is just going to be going back. And Roma will have control of the wave for now. Still, regardless of everything, T1 are ahead in every lane.
Yeah.
It's kind of how it's all eventuated.
That is true. Akali takes a little bit of time before she's really able to threaten the Azir. Needs level 6 in most cases. Gideon's going to head up here because Doran has turned this lane around. He is still holding a flash, and he's going to need it.
Yeah, there's another slice and dice as the flash immediately follows. But Doran Gets far enough away underneath the turret and will survive. Still has to use the flash, but gets 2 on the other side.
Really nice flash timing there for Doran.
Oh, dearie me. The Deadly Flourish is named pretty well, as Namgung is going to have to slink away. And will at least be able to do that. Teddy might just stick around, pick up the wave, and that looks like it is going to be the option. But it's going to be a pretty nice back here for T1.
T1, they do get Doran gets himself out of there. T1 do get away with his aggressive positioning there, because if he dies, it could have been really disastrous. Now he's down flash, but casting also flash to set up the play. Gideon as well, committing in. And Owner now gets to be like, okay, well, that was the scariest part where the enemy jungler is relevant, and I don't have level 6, so he's getting closer to level 6 himself. And we'll actually see right now Namgung on that ward as he's coming over to the mid lane. Keria matching.
Once again, casting goes in. We'll take a little damage on the way back, but now Doran with no teleport is leaving. Cocoon has to be flashed. Good respect there from Faker to make sure that he does not die to the Elise gank, as Carrier is over here as well. Casting looking for a little bit of an angle as Doran wants to clear out the wave. Slice, dice, and Doran goes down. First blood for Casting and almost gets his health back as Roman's underneath the turret. There's a perfect execution and he dies! Still, Namgung's able to get the kill back. A 1-for-1 in the mid lane that was almost a disaster for the Bro mid laner.
Just needed one more auto. Crazy how close I got. Namgung is like, I win these.
Yeah, Carrier's like, so do I.
Yeah, I don't think Namgung in fact wins these at that health level.
Yeah, there's a really nice repel. He looked to turn it and gets the flash out of Carrier. That was very huge.
God, Namgung, sit down for a minute. Just take a chill pill, my man.
Bro came to play today.
I mean, this is crazy. Now, casting here obviously doesn't have level 6. Doran misses the weirding onto him because he's trying to clear the wave, so he doesn't actually get that extra damage through, so casting has this kill. It's 100% worth in my mind there. He gets the extra 100 gold for first blood. Here, Romer unfortunately did not quite have the damage, and this is also incredibly risky because they know Keria is nearby. Goes for the ult in here.
Oh man, just barely. Good flash from Namgung to make sure that they get the kill.
If Namgung misses that, then it's a disaster.
Oh yeah.
It's still not ideal, but you know, both these early aggressive plays here for Bro don't set them behind. In fact, casting he got the extra gold from that trade, and this is not Doran putting him down. Like, he's continued to control this lane. In fact, Owner may even look for a gank himself up here topside once he clears these Krugs and hits his paranoia.
And, I mean, there's a fair bit of CC on the T1 side, right? As Deadly Flourish is going to do a fair bit of work towards Teddy here. But I feel like casting will be able to get a fair bit of value, as well as Gideon with his Crescent Guard. There's a lot of ranged champions that he will be able to use that ulti very effectively against, as there is the counter engage here from Owner. Turning it around towards casting. The fear is perfect, and down goes the Crocodile. And as I was saying it, that is casting not finding the value there in the top lane.
Yeah, there just isn't enough vision or information about where Owner is, I think, to make that aggressive all-in happen at level 6 here. Doran's still down his flash. I think casting saw blood in the water there, but Gideon was way too far away if Owner, who has paranoia, which I think you should expect at this point, is going to be able to join. And if Owner is anywhere on the top side, he comes and makes this play. And he was expecting this. Doran was like, I need some help. He goes to clear his Krugs, gets level 6 off of it, and he just gets the punish. So I think a bit of a misread there from casting, unfortunately, after what was such a fantastic start for the Renekton.
Yeah, still, I mean, that is Paranoia on cooldown for quite some time. Problem is, that's Ultimate Hunter. That's the first ulti working out for the Nocturne. We talk about this all the time, that it's a great start for Owner in this game. And we need to, you know, talk about the fact that Owner is pretty good at Nocturne. His win rate it's north of 85%, I'm pretty sure, at this point in time, and he's got a few games in it. That is not an Atlas stat, you know.
Yeah, he is actually quite a Nocturne guy. He plays Nocturne when it's not meta. It's really meta right now, but there's been many an Owner game, often even at international tournaments, where he's like, no, this is actually the pick here.
Well, casting looking for another opportunity as Namgung back towards the top side. Namgung, in the early game, has been finding a whole lot of angles as Doran notices that this could be a rough time and then just teleports away
Turtle porting.
Yeah, the turtle port out of danger is what he went for there. As Roman once again looking for an opportunity, dodges the Emperor's Divide quite nicely here as he will land the backflip. And does he have the ulti? The perfect execution! Solo kill for Roma in his first game back after a hiatus. That is gorgeous!
Insane play there from Romer. Gets the deletion of Faker here. Doran pushed away by Namgung. It means a plate additionally is going to go over to casting here, so he's got 2 in pocket. And will actually take the gold lead back from Doran, despite Doran picking up that kill from the gank from Owner. Doran's also down TP because he TP'd away defensively, so casting holds TP advantage in the top side. And this game, pretty interesting to start things off. The bottom lane, not in a great spot, but Teddy's scaling up, right? He's going to be heading towards that 2-item spike here in about 10 minutes time. And it's only, you know, a 500 gold lead for Pays, and obviously Namgung's been roaming around the map. So this is kind of expected as Romer finds the angle here, hits the Q, sidesteps. I mean, it's just a sidestep. It's not a flash. He just kind of baits him. If Faker pulls the trigger too early, he has the ultimate and wipes the floor with him.
And just barely makes it out with that one last turret shot. Carrier looking to come in and, predicts the dash away. Paranoia gets the flash, as Owner may need to get out of here. Carrier was going to die otherwise, as he does take a turret shot. And Casting was eating some honey fruit, just taking a little bit of a lunch break. And then there was a Nocturne, but will just be slinking back towards that top side of the map.
A little bit of greedy here from Roma, but I think he's going to get away with it. He's got a Shroud.
Yep.
And he has TP. You mentioned Owner, he just ulted in there. He has an 86% win rate across 43 games in his career.
North of 85, I nailed it.
Yeah, he has... he's almost got 50 games in Nocturne on his career.
It's the win rate is pretty ludicrous.
He's also kind of, you know, the history of League of Legends, kind of a late debut to have that many Nocturne games, you know?
Roma just doesn't have the health bar to walk up to these minions. We'll be able to secure one with a Shuriken backflip, and then we'll be heading on back. We'll see how close to the Hextech Gunblade he is going to be.
Casting is, I mean, he's got his W charged here. He has Flash. Doran really needs to be careful without Nocturne on the top side of the map. Casting may just look for an aggressive trade to TP, then back in, and continue to put the pressure on. So I like Casting's positioning here.
Yeah. He's also making sure that Doran's having a really rough time farming, right? Like, Doran's had to use almost all of his buttons on the wave and hasn't been able to do that, you know, Aurora thing where you get to zone your opposition out with that threat of the big burst.
He just did a ton of damage to him. He's got Flash still, so, I mean, Doran, you don't have TP. You might just have to give some of these minions up, but even the Owner didn't have his ult. He's on the bottom side of the map, and Bro are on Dragon at the same time.
Well, there's the ulti out from Doran as well, so he's not going to be able to use this for said Dragon. Casting can teleport down. I think this is a dangerous one for T1 to contest.
I think he wants to kill.
The flash in from Casting. He finds the Dominus, and the slice is there. Doran will be able to outplay it, though, as he takes out the Crocodile. Just kites him around. There's a Pop Blossom as well, as T1 looking to lock things down in the bottom side of the map as well. Gideon very, very low. Teddy does grab a kill, as I think that was a True Shot Barrage into the top lane, as now Faker's going to get taken out by Roma once again. Back-to-back solo kills from this Akali, and now he wants to take Carrier out of the equation at the same time. He's just pretending to be a mid laner.
Casting is laughing on the player cam after a disaster on the top side. I think really showcasing he is happy with how close this game is, despite a bit of a blunder there and a great outplay by Doran. He knows his mid laner just got a free kill. Now Casting here, again, he knows Doran doesn't have ult. Doran's trying to clear this wave, but doesn't have mana. So Casting's like, well, I get this. And instead of using his ultimate early, he wants to use it for the extra fury here, but doesn't hit the E, so he's not able to get the second E. If he has the second one, he kills him and escapes.
I think he also needed only like one extra of the Ticket Dominus as well.
Yeah.
Doran was clearing out the wave and just dies to Teddy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That might have been what Casting was laughing about.
I imagine it was.
And over here, Faker on the side just gets deleted. As you can see here, Carrier cannot heal for him.
Namgung does get taken out by Pays, though, so this Jin doing exactly what he's supposed to. But Roma just figures it out, man. This guy's Akali is devastating. And he has that Gunblade now completed. This is a big item spike for this Akali.
Exactly, and you know, sometimes we're like, okay, well, The Akali didn't get anything done early, didn't get online, didn't become relevant. You've got that like side laning Akali that will eventually show up surely in a team fight, but he's just been doing so much work already in this game. The Renekton in a tough matchup held a gold lead. And again, unable to get that solo kill, but still got the assist money. He's still dead even with Doran.
And he's still just trying to kill him. Dash Cannon going to be used to try and get Doran out of here. There's another ulti in trade for Doran's. And I think he wants to go in between worlds to get to a different one that Renekton isn't in, is what I'm kind of seeing here on this top side of the map. And remember, this was the counter pick that Doran chose into this Renekton.
I'm starting to wonder if this Jhin composition for T1 is going to work with the... Okay, hold on. Pays?
Ooh, sidesteps the Cocoon very nicely. Remember, Namgung has half a health bar. Well, like actually right now, but also just in general. Elise doesn't have health.
Yeah, she doesn't. Also, a bit risky considering Pace is holding on to a cleanse right now.
Yeah.
So even if that did hit, he would have just kind of laughed at it. But Teddy ends up doing some damage back.
Cool. Nails the cannon as well as casting. Sidesteps an ability. I was very much expecting a slice in. See whether there's a dice in, but no, goes out and misses a cannon. So that's, I'm going to put that in the cons column.
The number one thing that our pre-show talked about, and even the Korean pre-show, at least as long as they kept it the same as rehearsal, which I listened to, was all about, are we fighting? Are we going in? What are we doing for bro? Like, are we committing or are we leaving? Are we going to hard commit to this or are we going to half commit and then leave and then lose the objective? So far, they've been heavily committing in their lanes and also these early scrappy fights, and it's been working decently well here. The game is practically dead even in terms of gold. It's the Akali lead versus the Jhin lead, but with Bro's composition, I think you favor the Akali lead here. Let's see if they can continue to kind of stick the landing here with this, because they have so many threats for the Jhin. Faker is 0-3, right? He's not a massive threat in this game for a while here. There's going to be a timing where if we continue at this rate, Bro have that 2-item Ezreal spike, and they're ready to fight all the time.
Yep. We also have to say that Gideon got the grubs. So Gideon Grubs is online here for the Bros. As Faker looking to grab some plates here on this bottom side. They know that Owner is here, but of course, very difficult to dive in Akali, as she does have a habit of being invisible.
Yes.
That Shroud is now down, and now he's actually looking for an all-in onto Faker. There's the Emperor's Divide as he flashes, but doesn't find the angle. Rift Herald is taken here. Is there another backflip? And the answer is no. Owner is just going to lap up the Akali.
I think he had to flash that Emperor's Divide. You know, he used the flash afterwards, and Faker's just like, all right, I guess I finally got one back.
He definitely messed something up towards the end of that play, but we're going to forgive him for it because he did outplay in the majority of the time so far this game.
Between that flub and Casting's flub on the top side, which again was very close, and Doran played it well, it almost feels like in some ways Bro are keeping this game really interesting, really close, but I'm also like watching you ever watch the Games Done Quick where there's like 100,000 people watching and the guy messes it up? Like, he's actually the world record holder, but he's like, ooh, hold on, I'm gonna have to do this boss again.
Yeah, here we go.
This is kind of the moment here because he messed up the flash, but also
he flashes into the wall. But he ults into the wall and then flashes, and then he's just out of position.
Yeah, but he also could have just flashed the Emperor's Divide if he knew the angle better, and then probably killed Faker there. But either way, kind of a disaster for what he was trying to do.
Yeah, a bit of an awkward one. I think was hoping that he'd be able to use the second ult in order to get back to Faker after the Emperor's Divide, and then can use the flash in order to follow up if there's any attempt to escape. And he did do a whole lot of damage, as we saw. So right now, Faker does have 100 gold in the lead. It is going to be the Bros picking up this first Chemtech Dragon, as we have a Chemtech Soul this game. Orcs is maybe just off getting lunch or something like that, I assume. Cannon going to go wide once again. It's a little bit unfortunate. The Dragon lead, if you're a Bro fan, is something that you can hang your hat on.
It's not.
There's at least that.
It's not the greatest Dragon for their comp. I mean, the Renekton will like it, but otherwise not really a big brawler in this comp, nor a lot of healing and
Akali also, like, Gunblade's pretty good for, like, Omnivamp, and, you know, Xin Zhao has some in his kit. I mean, there's an angle.
Sort of, yeah. I'm with you. I like the positivity.
Yeah. You gotta stay positive. As Doran tries to dash cannon his way out, Casting just gonna go in for a bit of a trade instead of an all-in this time, as Carrier was making his way over.
I don't know what the post-game is going to be like for both of these teams when they're breaking it down, but I guarantee you Doran's, but I hate this Casting guy, man. He's got it out for me. Like every time we go there, he's just like trying to find an insane all-in angle on the Doran, or at least a hyper-aggressive trade, and he keeps making them work.
Well, Roma is the one now towards this top side of the map, looking to see whether he can pressure Doran. Going to quite work out here as True Shot Barrage goes wide, so does a Cocoon. Well, actually, True Shot Barrage hit, but it didn't really do too much.
All right, well, we slow down the game again for a moment here, as I think T1 stabilized quite well, especially with that fail for Roma on the bottom side that gave Faker a lot of gold back. He's still 0-3 and 2, but some additional assists, some extra time in side lanes has put him into the advantage. And he is trucking towards the second item here. Now, Teddy does have his second item. It's not transformed just yet, but it will be with just a few more Qs onto these minions and or pays. So he's ready to hit that spike here around 19. And the next fight is going to be a really big opportunity for Bro to get back control of this game. But if they don't win a fight, like if T1 just ignore them or they get like Chemtech soul point and T1 gets a turret on the other side, I don't think that's a win for them. They need to be proactive or proactive, and make something happen here, because if they're not, it is going to be T1, I think, just starting to outscale and starting to really become a bigger problem than what this Akali once was early on for Romer.
Yeah, let's see whether Roma can find a little bit more here. Of course, 2 items feels pretty good for the Akali, but he's not quite there. He's got 1 book as far as that is concerned, and doesn't have very many stacks on his ring either, so hasn't been able to stack that one up after feeling a little bit positive about how things were going to go when he purchased it. It hasn't necessarily made too many dividends, as Namgung holding onto this mid lane alongside Teddy. Pays deals with the wave very nicely. And like you were saying, the Bros sort of slowing down, and they probably shouldn't. Faker is taking his second turret of the game.
It's just starting to crumble, right? And it's not because Bro made a problem right here, or made a mistake right here this problem is happening. It's Faker is just too strong on sides right now, and there's no resources that Bro can afford to send top side while they're trying to get this turret. They're going to get the overgrowth and the charge, so a lot of money here. Going over to Teddy to put a dent in that gold gap is... Okay, nothing crazy going to happen here, but this is T1 starting to really take a pretty massive advantage, and the Akali train has stopped rolling, right? There's no longer a snowball rolling down the hill for this comp. The Elise is going to fall off quite heavily in terms of what she's capable of doing versus the Pop Blossom engages for Keria. And when Pays has all of these moving parts firing correctly, he becomes a huge menace as well. He's already on 2.5 items himself. And despite Teddy picking up a lot of gold from that mid turret, the crash and the plates there, he's not in a position with his team right now to where he can carry yet, even though he's on 2 items. As Faker?
Yeah, just looking for an angle towards Namgung here. Doesn't have much to go to after that repel, and will now look to flash away. Teddy finding an angle towards Faker here as he doesn't land that last Mystic shot, which would have very much hurt. Still able to hold onto this turret. Not the end of the world right now, although they will lose the overgrowth. And the Raptors will be stolen away here by Ona. Keria being frustrating.
Faker holds his ult there, so it doesn't get the kill, but it's going to be a great safety tool to continue to siege this turret and then threaten this next dragon that's spawning in 30 seconds. Faker, want to take those shots, though.
Yeah, does take a few cannons. Turret shots there. And 25 seconds on soul point for the Bros. So maybe an angle. No flash on the Elise, but that is the only flash that is on cooldown.
This could be the turning point here for Bro, or maybe them kind of seeing the game flash before their eyes. They need to win this dragon fight.
Let's see whether they can. As Gideon stepping up. Namgung already taking a little bit of poke here from Keria, as Ona obviously can engage from any range he would like. As the Bros are in position.
Faker doesn't have TP, he's going to have to slowly make his way over if they want to fight.
Also on a bit of a flank angle here, but is spotted by Roma right now. True Shot Barrage just going to help out with the Dragon at the minute, but doesn't really hit onto the T1 players who are biding their time. Doran is going to dash in, does look for the Elise. He does manage to make his way out of there, but it's the Nico that goes down. The steal comes through for Ona, though, and he takes down his opposite number. Roma now looking to see what he can get done, as Faker will be taken out. It's a massive Q from Casting to keep him alive, and now Teddy is trying to figure it out in the interim. Doran and Ona. Oh, great flash to get Doran out of there, but is the Arcane Shift coming back off cooldown? And Teddy, despite that, regardless, he is just going to leave.
If that Q hits, I think if he hits that Q, it either is enough damage to kill or he gets the E off of it.
It was a 3 for 3, but the Dragon was stolen.
The Dragon was stolen. Now, this setup here for Bro is actually really nice, and the fact that the Emperor's Divide doesn't hit casting is really the big difference maker here, because he's able to get into the back line. Namgung, his sacrifice was not in vain because he created a lot of disruption here. And once Faker is gone, Pays is gone, the damage is really only on Doran, and it's very difficult to deal with this Ezreal, but some great sidestepping means that Teddy just cannot clean up. Gets the extra flash. This Q missing means that he doesn't get his Arcane Shift.
Man, it would have been very, very close. Teddy now at least has that transformation done, and Faker hits 6,000 assists. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he has the most in the league. Wow, he does, but only by 45.
Yeah, only 45, but that's, look at all the supports and junglers up there.
Yeah, there's a lot that tend to get a fair few assists. Shout out to Lehens for being able to get there. Remember, he debuted how many years? 6 years after Faker? 5 years after Faker?
5, yeah.
Which is, you know, that's a decent amount of time to make up, right? Like getting a few assists with your teammates. We do play more games these days than they did in the past, but still, I'm going to say that's pretty impressive. Now I'm going. Okay. Making his way out. Teddy, Arcane Shift is very high value in that moment. True Shot Barrage comes up through, takes the cannon as well, as they're not able to take down the turret. Gideon goes in, Crescent Guard there to keep him alive as Casting gets into that backline. Pop Blossom onto only the Renekton. You can understand why as he cuts down the Jhin. Doran gets himself out of there via the back of the team fight, and Namgung is going to be taken out. Roma now looking for Faker one more time. He really just wants to kill this Azir over and over again, and he is going to be able to do so. Another solo kill here as he makes his way back onto the team, and they'll take down a Baron as well. BRION, I think they're doing it, Wolf.
Very few teams are first picking Azir right now. T1 is really at the top of that list, and very few teams can punish Faker's Azir. And Roamer, the returning rookie, is able to take him out so many times. Faker is 0-5.
Yeah.
He is 0-5 on the Azir right now. But this team fight, the story of it for me, is the short teleport here from the Renekton. As Gideon goes through, this is extremely coordinated from Bro, right? This is the exact opposite of the woes we were talking about indecision. And Cassie gets into a position where you get a massive amount of damage done with both his ultimate and that Q there, gets the stun off, Pays is out. And then Faker just cannot get away from this Akali. Is able to trade flashes here, but that is the best he is going to get. And Bro, going to take the Baron in live. 1,500 gold off the power play. They take a gold lead here. And suddenly, game starts to feel pretty scary if you're a T1 fan. One of the many thousands in the arena right now.
Exactly. Namgung is likely to be dead, but does make his way out of the Emperor's Divide. True Shot Barrage there as well. Is spell shielded nicely by Ona. And that should be the turret going down with the help of these Baroned up minions and some grubs. Thanks, Gideon.
And Doran's going to try to get some pressure on the top side at the same time. He doesn't have TP back just yet. And I think that's going to be the call here for Bro to send the Akali back and otherwise set up that deep vision. They do that there in T1's jungle. A lot of it will be cleared, but see if they punish Doran. I think he should get out.
He is not actually spotted by that Scryer's Bloom, but Roma is still going to backflip his way in here, just does not check the brush. So Doran will be making his way out.
Look at this.
Stuff now complete.
2-level lead here for Roamer currently over Faker. Well, it's like fake 2 levels because Faker's about to 15, but Pays.
Yeah, now I'm going looking for the angle, does not find the Cocoon.
Ghostblade.
Therefore, he will get out.
Ghostblade for Rocket Belt there.
Yep.
And
that trade.
I mean, if Pays gets hit by it, he cleanses, but then his cleanse is down, so at least he is able to keep that.
Ooh, Roma doesn't want to go 1v2, as you can understand. And Wolf, I've got a suggestion.
Yeah?
Because of how many times Casting has used these mega cones to engage,
yes,
I want to call the Chemtech Blast Cone the Casting Cone.
I'm down for it. Because like all the casters are always talking about it as well.
Exactly, this is the thing. No one's going to understand why we're calling it the Casting Cone unless you've been watching this exact series right here.
I can't wait for other region casters to pick it up, but just not really get it.
Yeah, right. Although I think it doesn't make very much sense to call it the Casting Cone in that context, but it's more funny if that then happens.
If the trend happens, you know, all we got to do is get Caedrel to start saying Caedrel.
Hey, that's true. Like, yeah, Caedrel, if you're listening, we need to make the Casting Cone happen because Casting really has been utilizing these Blast Cones so well in this game. And it's not every time, right? It's only when Orcs messes up and we get a Chemtech Soul.
Yeah.
Casting is in control as to whether we use Casting Cone or not.
Casting is going to get this, you know, soul point here with his friends, and a Nocturne with vision all around the map against him is not as threatening as he otherwise would be, right? You have a really strong Aurora, but still, like, only 82 gold ahead of this Renekton this late into the game, but just sitting on 3 items. But Doran, it feels like, hasn't been able to do anything in team fights so far this game, and the fights have been so split, not because T1 have messed them up per se, but because Bro have pushed them into uncomfortable positions that T1 have not responded well and have not been able to navigate through the chaos that Bro has set up here. And it's a lot of the time been Casting's Renekton as Gideon.
All right, just walks into the darkness as Doran almost kills Namgung, just 100-0, which, you know, we'd say sometimes would be an achievement, but it's an Elise. You kind of just breathe heavily in her direction, and she dies.
Yeah, the fact that he's on 3 deaths here at 28 minutes is actually pretty impressive.
I would say so. Some of Lehens' best Elise games, he died 9 times.
Yeah, it's like POM.
Yeah, exactly.
2, 9, and 4.
I think Beryl had at least 6 of those games as well. Shout out to the GOAT. As Casting here, looking to catch this wave on the bottom side of the map, as Faker is going to slink off into the fog of war.
A little bit dangerous here for Owner. Does have Faker's back, but a lot of people are here.
Yeah, let's see whether Roman can get himself out of here as the Emperor's Divide is going to push the Akali back. Goes Golden, is now Casting. Was thinking about going aggressive, does not decide to go in, and Roma is able to get out. Faker's now in such an awkward position, and Namgun gets it with a dash cannon. In goes Gideon, the wind becomes lightning, as now Owner is in trouble. He gets smoked, and he should be taken down as Nevermind had to break the fear, but still Gideon gets on top of him. And now Jhin versus Renekton is not a matchup that's great for the Jhin that doesn't have buttons left over, as there's another audacious charge, and indeed it is audacious out of Gideon. Doran, he's given up on team fighting. He doesn't want to do that anymore. I can understand it, but now he's being chased down by Roma, who does have him walking the wrong direction. Still health bar advantage here as, yeah, Kali struggles to stop a teleport.
Yeah, but like they're losing their mid turret. He just lost his TP to escape there. He didn't have mana to try to extend that out. He used his ultimate already. T1 are falling apart, and this is a rare circus punish, right? We talk about the circus all the time, but this right here is T1 circus. Like, screenshot it and put it as your wallpaper if you're a T1 fan. Because the idea is, oh, we'll make a risky play, but we're all here. Like, look at where the rest of the team is on the other side of the wall. You got Pays and Curry on the right side. They just get called out here. Faker's flash is like 3 seconds away, by the way, when he dies. He is so close to having flash up, doesn't get it in time. Miscalculation, you could argue. But then Owner's pushed away here. They cannot peel for him, and T1 just fall apart because there's another
Casting is the casting cone as well to engage onto Pays.
Exactly. He's casting coning in after TPing on the flank, and
it's perfect.
And then Doran's
casting.
Then Doran, right after this, is forced to TP away, so he doesn't have TP. And T1 now suddenly 2.5 thousand gold behind.
This is starting to become a real advantage for Hanjin BRION. Now Baron has spawned one more time. And the Bros, they've got a pretty terrifying turn, right? The single target pick from this composition is very deadly. And so can be difficult for T1 to approach. However, with the fact that Owner can just kind of swoop in and has the spell shield there as well for the added layer of safety, can be a little scary, but not going to have an engage just yet. The Bros with a fair bit of vision towards that top side right now aren't too worried about T1 starting a Baron in 1.5 minutes until we have a Chemtech Soul.
And T1 are playing a Jhin composition, right, where they lost their teleport for the Aurora, who has to be on the bottom side of the map right now to deal with this matchup. And that means that it's hard for T1 to sneak a Baron or like try to set up a fight around the Baron because they will need their Aurora to TP in. They have a Jhin, they don't have the Baron damage, so they kind of are stuck here. Trying to figure out how to play this mid-game. And Bro, we're looking for a soul here in a minute. Baron's not really on the table for you, so we can just kind of keep some residual vision around there and otherwise try to protect insides. And Doran's teleport's so far away.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to say that there's nothing that T1 can do here, but they really have to play very carefully and very slowly and wait for Bro to make the first move and look for a punish. And if they can buy time and slow this down until Doran's TP is back, that's ideal.
And we have to return to what the space was talking about on the pre-show, right? This is going to be the Bro test, the biggest test for Hanjin BRION, because one of their weaknesses has been navigating late game team fights and figuring things out, getting onto the same page and making it happen when the pressure is on. And this is kind of where T1 thrive. At the moment, Bro have a brilliant position in this game, but that could change with some great play out of T1 that we know they have in them.
Faker taking some damage. Romer is not here yet.
Yeah, is going to make his way in now, as Doran does a lot of damage to Namgung, but this time his health bar is looking all right. As T1 moving down towards this dragon, it's spawning right now, and T1 have positional advantage.
Bro could give this up, but they want to really force the fight.
Yeah, it looks like they do just want to commit to this. True Shot Barrage onto 3. Massive value here for Teddy as the Bros move in. Arcane shift forward. He is ravenous right now. As Between Worlds goes Doran just for some poke damage as he flashes forward looking to take down the elites. Pop Blossom connects as Carrier gets himself out immediately, but Roma's already taken him down. Faker gets in and he will find the Empress Divide, but they're losing the fight regardless. Owner is going to get hit by the Wind Becomes Lightning, and Faker is trying to kite with these Sand Soldiers, but Roma's at full health, ready to execute them. And Hunch and BRION, they get the soul, and I think they're in position to win game 1.
They could try to turn over to Baron if Teddy lived there, but he does go down, and so now it's a little bit trickier. I think they're going to look for reset, or maybe a pick on the greedy Faker here.
Let's see whether they find it. The Wind Becomes Lightning does not connect, but the flash will come out. Oh, the 3 Talon Strike is going to get the knock up, and another charge takes down the Azir. It's a solo kill for the Xin Zhao here as Gideon. 2-1-4 on the Xin Zhao. Wasn't necessarily the main character of this game, but also able to feed Faker a death.
He has been so aggressive, though, and so successful on this Xin Zhao pick that it's crazy. Now, this is one of Faker's most impactful moments in this game, but it's still not up. The fight is won by the True Shot Barrage. Like,
yeah.
It's very rare for that to actually happen.
3 people.
Yeah. And now Faker's at half health, and Faker has to really bide his time here. He's got flash and ult. Doesn't want to flash, wants to play slowly through Paze's ultimate here. Look at the angle that Faker takes. Like, watch Faker on the left side of your screen. He comes in here behind and goes deep for this, but they unfortunately don't have the bottom side of the fight won. The Akali is still incredibly relevant. This is such a tanky set of champions that are left here to chase them down, and eventually they end up getting Faker moments later. Now, Baron is here to be able to take it.
Oh dear, this could be where the Bros lose the game. They are just going to pull off the Baron as Casting. He can tank it pretty comfortably here. And they have Chemtech's Soul, and he has a Spirit Visage. Yeah, there is he's just not going to have a low health bar for very much of this game. And now Paze takes another True Shot Barrage. Teddy is terrifying with 4.5 items.
And I mean, Majai's got picked up here for Romer, who I think has really...
Is this the most impressive re-debut we have ever seen?
Well, I mean, Effort was pretty crazy, but...
Oh, that's true. And it's the longest winning streak KT have ever had in the history of the organization because Effort re-debuted. Oh, well, it's the wrong year! It's the wrong year for Romer to do this, man!
Pretty much, right?
Second place ain't bad! Something like that.
Gideon has GA now. And even though T1 stopped the initial Baron, they had to use Paze's ultimate to do so. Faker doesn't have flash, he doesn't have TP either. Was able to show up barely there to help stop that Baron as he was coming down as Bro pulled off. But this is really scary because Chemtech's Soul, we talked about how it's great for Renekton. It's pretty good for Xin Zhao as well. And when you're a Xin Zhao that has GA at 36 minutes of the game, it's incredible for him, actually.
And it's also pretty phenomenal for the Lifeline passive on a more of Malmortius.
Yeah.
If Teddy actually ever gets down that low, you will just be doing a bunch of extra damage and having that extra healing as well that the Lifeline would provide. T1 need to make sure that they execute him. As in goes Gideon one more time. The aggression does not stop as Romer's ulted in. Looking for Carrier. Could find an angle here. Perfect execution is not actually going to come on through as that True Shot Barrage. That could have actually killed him.
I think they have time. I think they can do this. Teddy's right here. He's right very nearby.
No, he bumped his head. He needs to go home. He needs to go to the hospital.
He's a guys, I missed the E, so I guess
he hit a tree branch on his way over, I think.
Caston was like, my finger was on the TP, but if you say so, I guess I guess we'll let the game go a little longer.
I think he put the calculation into the FTL wrong, you know. It's what happens sometimes.
But it is funny how I do think the margins for doing that Baron were so thin that he misses the E over the wall and they're like, nah, actually, we can't do it now.
Yep. I hope someone appreciated the Battlestar Galactica reference. If you did, I appreciate you too.
It wasn't me, I'm sorry to say.
That's
but
all right.
I appreciate you.
I mean, if you've got some time, I say jokingly to a dad, you could watch it, but you won't, and you don't have time. So maybe somebody else can instead. As Roma will be able to take down this top wave of minions, and they haven't quite got the Baron yet. And it's only a 3,000 gold lead. and there is almost, like, it's under 2 minutes to Elder. This is still T1-able. This game is still very T1-able.
I kind of feel like with double GA, Teddy on Ezreal at 38 minutes, I don't think Bro are losing this game. They have still enough map control to start this up, and T1 are a little bit blind here. FaZe is in the base. Like, I think this is just gone.
I mean, it should be, unless it's stolen with a paranoia. As Doran throwing some things around. Teleport does come in to make sure that they have some vision available, and they've also got some of these control wards in the back of the pit. But T1 Bro just pull off. In goes Owner, he steals it away. Obviously, he was gonna steal it away. As now Roma looks for a flank angle, but he's on vision himself. And T1 just take the Baron and walk away.
It is almost comical how that happened. But let's see if Bro can escape now, because they're kind of getting wrapped around on by Doran here, and also the mid turret is up for grabs.
It really does feel a little bit like the script writers are getting lazy, I'm not going to lie. As Roma looking for an angle here, but more control vision is there for T1, as Faker will take down this inner turret in the mid lane.
So everything that Bro did everything right for the most part. Like, they cleared the vision, they stopped the Baron, like they stopped taking it, they held the HP, they cleared the vision, they pushed Faker out first. They're like, okay, if Owner comes in at this point, it's gonna be really difficult to steal. And then he stole it at, like, I want to say 500, so they kind of just messed up the smite as...
Yeah, I would also go to the sky. As Namgung almost dies anyway.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Doran with the pullback is
Owner,
almost able to kill him.
Of course, still has his ultimate available after using it just moments ago, because he is Nocturne, he is level 18.
As Casting almost gets one shot by Doran as well. This doesn't seem like it should be allowed, but he finishes his death cap, and now it is just killing everyone. Yes, and Elder is up and available. Oh, the Bros really, it feels like something has gone wrong.
Starting to teeter a little bit. I mean, obviously with the Baron on the other side, you don't have prio, it's hard to wrap around, but they do get in position to actually pull T1 back. Roamer?
Yeah, let's see whether the backflip is going to be enough, and it is. Dash cannon as well to create even more space as the rest of T1 thinking about starting this up. Gideon's there. And
here comes Casting
over here as well. It is very scary. Doran gets in there with the blast cone. Is Casting.
He's got the casting cone.
He does. There are two of them. In fact, Namgung thinking about trying his hand at one of those as well. And Faker wrapping around. They get on top of Teddy. Empress Fight is going to miss it, but it does not matter. As down goes the Ezreal. Roma gets into that backline, but this time there's no Ezreal to get that damage in. And Namgung is now dead. Can the Bros still find the angle? That's the question. Is there still a lot of damage? And Roma does do a bunch of work before going down. So is Casting, who is an absolute monster on this Renekton. The GA is eaten up here, and now T1 with only 2 left alive.
They have to fight for this.
Try and escape. Exactly right. Casting does try and slice on top of FaZe, and he dices to get himself out of the way. And T1, I think they will be able to get control of this Elder area, and the Bros are just letting them take it.
I was so huge there from FaZe. He spaced it incredibly well. He does so much damage.
11,000 damage.
So much damage. If FaZe does not actually get that shot to land and do all that damage there to pop the GA early, then I think they might end up losing that Elder. Pretty crazy, but the main crux of this is Teddy didn't get to play the game. And after Teddy gets caught here, Romer is like, all right, let's see what I can do. He blast cones into the back line here, goes into the Shroud, and then was able to get access here to the pit. It's actually crazy how much damage Romer was able to get done.
Yeah, he played it beautifully. Like hitting the backflip before going into stasis to avoid the fear and then gets back into the fight. Very clean.
It's crazy what he was able to do there, and then it turns into a 2v2 here, but Casting just gets blasted, loses his GA here, and then cannot get close to FaZe. FaZe spaces this perfectly, and then that's the end of it. You know, they have Elder now. It's not impossible. I mean, the gold is dead even, but that matters very little at 41 minutes anyways, regardless of who could have had a lead. But with this Baron, with this Elder online here for T1, it is very difficult to defend the siege.
Well, True Shot Barrage comes in. Owner is going to be able to spell shield it, but the inner turret is certainly going to go down.
And how many times do we say Doran almost got the kill? He 100% gets it now with Elder and any of those.
No, he doesn't have Elder. So it's only Owner and FaZe that actually have the Elder.
I thought he had it. My bad.
So, I mean, the fact that a Jhin has it is very, very frightening because he can hit people from very far away.
You're right. It's only the 2 that were alive. My bad.
Yep. Yeah. But it's still not really. It feels like it's only on 2, but actually it's kind of on everyone because if FaZe just like gets a dancing grenade across the whole team, then they're still going to die.
I accept full responsibility for that.
No, my bad. Fine. It's very good for getting pentas for FaZe.
Sure.
Let's just say that.
Well, when you recalibrate to the truth, obviously it's still very good, but not as good for Doran as I was trying to allude to there. As we do have a bit of a flank here for Roamer.
Well, let's see whether he can actually get in. That's the question. Is the Bros, they need to go back to their aggressive ways, try to execute pays, and then move on through the team fight from there. But it looks like T1 going to look for a little bit of a reset. 20 seconds left on this Elder is going to mean that the base will remain intact as they do stop some backs. Pays loses a third of his health bar, and that top wave,
it's a massive wave,
should be able to take down this turret.
I mean, if they had TP, they might even consider trying to force a big reaction at T1 with just one TP, but they don't have it.
That's so we're gonna, the gold lead, by the way, is 700.
It's 700. It's been pretty much dead even for a while now, and the Baron is going to be the next fight location. In terms of summoners here, Roamer's down flash, casting down flash, those are pretty huge. Faker doesn't have his. Pays, he doesn't have his, but his positioning has been so good this game that I worry very little for him, especially because he's a Jhin and he has cleanse. But it's blue side advantage for Baron that feels the scariest here for T1. They were able to get the steal with Owner last time around, but who knows if they'll be able to do that again if Bro end up getting too strong of a positional advantage here. Teddy's true shots, man.
Yeah, he is just throwing them out off cooldown and does seem to just magnetize them towards Pays. Teddy is very scary with full items. I'm so used to saying 6 items, but it's 7. I guess if you include boots. Maybe it's true 6. We'll give it a true 6 items. As you don't need to sell boots anymore, which is kind of cute. Still, Owner is getting vision down where he can. And the Bros, I think the Bros know that they need to kill Owner if they ever want to take a Baron. And Roamer is going to get spotted. Great blast cone there from Doran. Gives them the heads up as to exactly where this Akali's going. Man, he's on a pool bay mission right now.
It's really tough for T1 to start Baron unless they can get even more push here because of the Jhin, right? Faker does have TP. He's actually very safe.
Now Gideon just going to taxi over to the Merc Wolves here with the help of Namgung, as Teddy is almost just dead from a curtain call that is going to get pressed here. The 4th shot not going to land, but still, Teddy had a GA, so it was going to be all right as man. Roma, dude, we need you somewhere that's not like in the middle of nowhere.
I think what he's trying to do is threaten a flank to keep T1 honest. But because they have so much vision in the jungle behind them, they're kind of just like...
It's the longest of long con.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the idea was to try to keep T1 scared, but they're not scared because they have all those words like, yeah, well, you're not flanking me from an area I'm worried about, so...
It's also the spirit of Jhin, right? This is Teddy versus T1, right? As Roma looks for Pays, he gets into that backline, the flank! It may have paid off as he gets him down to the GA! Goes golden here as well as Kerry gets in with the Puff Blossom! Roma finds the perfect execution and down goes Pays! It's a 1-for-1 as now Gideon is getting the value from this Chemtech Soul. Still holds on to his GA, and now it's Casting that dashes in. Gets on top of Faker. He will go golden though, and now Casting is going to survive. He's still slicing and dicing. He has that GA to keep him safe. And he's putting this Chemtech Soul through its paces. The Bros, they may have just done it. T1 have lost their carries.
I think this is going to be the push to end the game. Casting still has GA, so does Gideon. And there's just no damage here. Doran does go back up to full. He has to be the one to defend. He gets the GA.
Yep, there is one of the GAs taken down here and takes out Namgung as well. Doran has to do this by himself as Carrier doesn't have a massive amount of damage and Ona is melee, and it is going to be enough to get the Bros out of here.
He does do it. He does.
25 seconds on Elder as well.
25 seconds on that. Baron is up, but they have vision of a T1 do, so they know
Roma has teleport and Faker doesn't, so Roma can actually get to a fight around this Elder as soon as it's
They also have the real, they have real damage with this Ezreal, as this fight was crazy. We were debating what he was trying to do with the flank, and then he's just like,
whatever it was, it worked. It was beautiful.
And then Faker here is kind of caught, but I think we really need to go back to live because this Elder setup is really going to be game deciding. This is a very cool moment for Bro, but it doesn't ultimately end the game. Now Elder is on the cards, and T1 have Owner in position. Casting's on the flank.
Yeah, another True Shot Barrage comes in. It's Casting. It's the Casting code one more time as Roma gets on in there to take him down, but still he's going to die. Casting slicing and dicing through the fight here, but it's Aurora that's doing so much damage. Dorn is just gigantic. Empress Dividers, Faker swoops in, and there's the Elder number 2 to go over to T1. This circus, ladies and gentlemen, they saved the best for the homestand. And the Bros, I think, are now in absolute dire straits as we do hit the longest game in 20 seconds time.
Well, at the end of the day, this time Doran's got the Elder. Owner is going to spell shield. And this True Sharp Barrage is Teddy's last hope. They're trying to clear this wave so desperately.
Oh my goodness. They looked at Namgung and he almost just straight up died as Teddy Arcane shifted into the Aurora damage.
They clear the wave. They're going to get some time here to get Teddy up to as much health as he can get.
I mean, there's no Baron, right? So they're trying to utilize these death timers in order to go in. There's the Paranoias. Oh my goodness. These turrets just do not last. As now it's a naked Nexus. In goes Owner. He will be taken out by Teddy, though, who manages to outplay it. Doran getting himself out of the way is this Nexus. It's so close to dead. It's Teddy! He takes down the Jhin. It's a double as he executes Doran, but the